Today, we are diving into Wide Sargasso Sea, the untold story behind the mad woman in the Atties. If you have read Jane Eyre, you know Bertha Mason. But do you know her real story? Let's find out. This entire novel is divided into three parts, so I'll discuss the first part now. That is the Antoniette's childhood in Jamaica. The story begins with Antoniette Cosway, a Creole girl growing up in post-emancipation in Jamaica. Her family, once wealthy plantation owners, has lost everything after slavery was abolished. The local black community resents them and they live in isolation. Antoinette's mother, Annette, is a beautiful but fragile woman. She is trapped in poverty after her husband, a drunk who dies. Hope arrives when she remarries an Englishman named Mr. Mason, who is wealthy and confident that he can fix everything, but he ignores the racial tension that exists in Jamaica. One night, everything falls apart. An angry mob burns down their home. Antoinette barely escapes with her family, but her disabled brother, named Pierre, dies in the fire. This tragedy breaks Annette, and she is sent to a mental institution. With her mother gone, Antoinette is sent to live in a convent school, where she grows up in isolation. Now, let's go to the second part, which talks about Antoinette's marriage to Rochester's. At 17, Antoinette is married off to an unnamed Englishman who is strongly implied to be Mr. Rochester from Jane Eyre. This marriage is arranged by her stepfather, Mr. Basham, who offers Rochester a large dowry in exchange. At first, Rochester enjoys their honeymoon in Dominica, but soon he starts to feel uncomfortable with Antoinette's passionate nature and the unfamiliar Caribbean culture. His doubts deepen when he receives a letter from Daniel Cosway, a man claiming to be Antoinette's half-brother. Daniel warns Rochester that Antoinette's mother was insane and that she is too, who may will lose her mind sometime. Rochester starts to feel trapped. He believes he has been deceived into marrying a woman who is mad. He stops calling her Antoinette and instead calls her Bertha, a name she despises. This is the beginning of him erasing her identity. Desperate to win back to his love, Antoinette turns to Christophine, her old nurse, who gives her a love potion, but the plan backfires. Instead of rekindling his feelings, Rochester is disgusted and distances himself further. Betrayed and heartbroken, Antoinette spirals into despair. In a cruel twist, Rochester sleeps with a female servant, humiliating Antoinette. Antoinette, now pushed to her breaking point, violently lashes out at him, confirming his fears that she is unstable. By the end of this section, Rochester has made up his mind he will take Antoinette to England and lock her away forever. Let's go to the very last part, which talks about Antoinette in England. Now, in England, Antoinette is a prisoner in Rochester's house. She is locked in the attics, confused and disconnected from reality. She no longer understands where she is or why this is happening to her. Grace Poole, the servant assigned to watch over her, treats her indifferently. She remembers pieces of her past, her home, her mother, and the Caribbean, but everything feels distant. One night, she sees a candle and something shifts inside her. She grabs it, walks to the curtains, or and sets the house on fire. This moment directly connects to Jane Eyre, where Bertha Mason burns down Thornfield Hall. The novel ends with Antoinette staring into the flames, suggesting that this is her final moment before her tragic end. Finally, the white Sargasso Sea changes everything we thought we knew about Bertha Mason. Instead of a nameless mad woman in the attics, she is Antoinette Cosway, a woman broken by colonialism, racism, and betrayal. Was she truly insane? Or was she destroyed by the people around her? That's the question Rhys forces us to ask. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you don't miss any future videos. See you next time. Ciao.